Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news: something big is happening in the AFC North, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, buckle up, because what I am about to tell you isn't just your average NFL headline. No, it's a seismic shift that could reshape the entire AFC North landscape and, more importantly, put the Pittsburgh Steelers right back into the spotlight in their quest for another Super Bowl. Yes, I am talking about the recent news that shook the NFL community to its core. Veteran quarterback Aaron Rodgers, yes, the legendary Green Bay Packer, is heading to the Steel City to wear the black and gold. That's right, Aaron Rodgers, one of the most talented and cerebral quarterbacks of this era, is set to join the Steelers. And this move is generating both excitement and controversy within the fanbase and beyond. It's a blockbuster move that could have massive implications, not just for this upcoming season, but for the Steelers' long-term future as well. Now, let us take a step back and understand the context here. The Steelers have always been a franchise with a rich history, a storied past filled with 6 Super Bowl titles, legendary players, and a defense that has become synonymous with toughness and resilience. But in recent years, especially after the departure of Ben Roethlisberger, the team has been searching for stability at quarterback. There was always hope that a young, promising player could step up. Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett, and others, but none of them quite seemed to fully capture the imagination of the fanbase or deliver the consistency needed to truly contend on a deep playoff run. This is where Aaron Rodgers comes in, a guy who, despite facing criticism and questions about his recent performance, remains an elite quarterback, a guy who can elevate a team and bring that championship mentality that Steelers fans crave. Now, the official announcement broke on Thursday, news that broke the NFL world wide open. Rodgers, after months of speculation, has finally signed a 1-year deal with the Steelers, and he's flying to Pittsburgh this Friday to begin the next chapter of his illustrious career. Many fans are excited, some are cautiously optimistic, and a few skeptics are still doubtful whether this move is the right one. But one thing is for sure: this is a statement move by the Steelers front office, signaling that they're serious about competing now, not just rebuilding. Rodgers, who threw for nearly 900 yards last season, with 28 touchdowns and 11 interceptions, is expected to bring a level of leadership, experience, and skill that could immediately boost Pittsburgh's offense. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows. The reaction from former Steelers stars and analysts has been mixed, and that's where things get interesting. Ryan Clark, one of the most respected voices in Steelers lore, appeared on SportsCenter to share his take, and it wasn't exactly glowing. Clark, who has been a fierce supporter of the Steelers organization and often a voice of reason, expressed a rather somber outlook. According to Clark, bringing Rodgers to Pittsburgh might be the worst-case scenario for Steelers fans. He argued that while the move makes the team better in the short term, it might also keep the Steelers mired in mediocrity. Clark emphasized that, yes, Pittsburgh will likely make the playoffs with Rodgers under center. We're talking about a team that historically is built with a winning culture, and Rodgers can certainly help them reach the postseason. But Clark's concern is about the bigger picture: championship contention. He pointed out that, despite the upgrade at quarterback, the Steelers still lack the kind of elite, franchise-changing talent that can carry a team through the grueling playoff battles. To Clark, this move might be more of a band-aid rather than a true fix. He believes that Pittsburgh's window for a Super Bowl run isn't necessarily wide open just because they added Rodgers. Instead, Clark predicts that the Steelers will probably fight for a wild card spot, sneak into the playoffs, and then face tough competition early on. And here's the kicker: he's not convinced that Rodgers, at this stage in his career, is the guy who can lead the Steelers to that elusive 7th Super Bowl ring. Clark references that while Rodgers is a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback, his recent performances have shown some decline, and the Steelers, as talented as they are, still need more pieces to truly contend for title. This brings us to a crucial point: what does this mean for the Steelers' draft strategy? Well, if you've been paying attention to the NFL draft and off-season moves, you know the Steelers have been somewhat cautious but strategic. They've added some key pieces on defense and offensive line, but the quarterback position was still a question mark. With Rodgers now in the fold, the team might shift their focus away from drafting a quarterback in the early rounds at least for now. Instead, they might look to bolster other areas, knowing they have a seasoned leader at the helm. But make no mistake, the Steelers are still in a delicate position. Rodgers, who completed 63 of his passes last season, is expected to bring an immediate boost to the offense. His experience and football IQ are unmatched, and the Steelers' coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin, is known for maximizing their players' talents. And talking about Tomlin, he's one of the most respected coaches in the league, and his ability to adapt and get the most out of his rosters is legendary. I mean, we're talking about a coach who's never had a losing season in his entire tenure over 15 years, and he's known for his defensive schemes, leadership, and ability to develop quarterbacks. Now, pairing Tomlin with Rodgers, a quarterback who's been considered one of the smartest and most talented passers of his generation, should ideally be a match made in football heaven. But as Clark pointed out, sometimes even the best plans don't always lead to the promised land, especially when the league is as competitive as ever. Let us talk a little about Rodgers himself. The guy is a former MVP, a Super Bowl champion, and a guy who's thrown for over 50,000 yards in his career. He is known for his incredible arm talent, his ability to extend plays, and his football intelligence. Last season, he threw for nearly 3,900 yards with 28 touchdowns. Sure, he faced some criticism about his performance, but he remains one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league when healthy. The fact that he's coming to Pittsburgh on a one-year deal indicates he's probably looking for a fresh start, a chance to prove he still has what it takes to contend. And the Steelers, with their stout defense, a solid offensive line, and some promising young talent, could be the perfect place for Rodgers to show that he is still an elite quarterback. But it's not just about the on-field performance. It's about the leadership, the veteran presence, and the experience he brings to a locker room that is eager to get back to the top. Kenny Pickett, the young quarterback who has been given the keys to the future, will have a chance to learn from Rodgers, which could be invaluable. The Steelers are known for their stability and their ability to develop talent, and now with Rodgers in the mix, they add a new layer of veteran wisdom that can help guide the younger players. Looking ahead to the upcoming season, expectations are a bit mixed but generally optimistic. The AFC North remains one of the most competitive divisions in football, with the Bengals, Ravens, and Browns all vying for supremacy. The Bengals, with Joe Burrow leading their explosive offense, are the reigning division champs, but with Rodgers now in Pittsburgh, the Steelers are looking to re-establish themselves as serious contenders. The Ravens, known for their dominant defenses and dual-threat quarterback Lamar Jackson, will be a tough challenge as always. The Browns, with their new acquisitions and a solid roster, are also in the mix. So, for Pittsburgh, it's about finding that balance, integrating a Hall of Fame quarterback, developing their young talent, and making strategic moves to elevate their defense and special teams. And speaking of defense, the Steelers have always been proud of their identity as a defensive powerhouse. The addition of Rodgers on offense might shift the focus slightly, but don't expect the defense to become complacent. T.J. Watt, the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, remains one of the league's most formidable pass rushers. The secondary, led by Minkah Fitzpatrick, continues to be a strength. Pittsburgh's defensive philosophy, under the guidance of coordinators and coaching staff, will still be the backbone of their success. The question is, can the offense, now with Rodgers, match that level of intensity and consistency? That's where the real intrigue lies. Now, let us revisit what this move means in the broader context of the NFL and the AFC. The AFC has become a gauntlet. Teams like Kansas City, Buffalo, Cincinnati, and Jacksonville all have serious Super Bowl aspirations. Pittsburgh, with Rodgers now at quarterback, is trying to punch above its weight class. It's a bold move, one that shows the Steelers are willing to take risks to stay competitive. Rodgers' presence could open up more opportunities for the offense, allowing the team to diversify their attack and keep defenses guessing. His ability to extend plays and make difficult throws could turn some games around, especially in the clutch moments. But as always, there are questions. Will Rodgers stay healthy? Can he adapt to Pittsburgh's system quickly? How will the young receivers and running backs step up alongside him? And most importantly, can the Steelers finally break through and contend for that elusive 7th Super Bowl? These are questions that will be answered as the season progresses, but one thing is for sure: this signing has stirred the pot and energized the fan base. As we look toward the season, the Steelers are entering a new era, one that mixes veteran leadership with youth, experience with potential. Addition of Aaron Rodgers signals a clear intent. Pittsburgh isn't just here to compete, they want to win now. And that's exactly what Steelers fans have been craving. The hope, the optimism, and the hunger for another championship are alive and well, and Rodgers' arrival only fuels those flames. It's an exciting time to be a Steelers fan. The team has the talent, the coaching, and now, with Rodgers, the star power to make some serious noise in 2024. So whether you're feeling optimistic or cautious, one thing's for sure, this is a franchise that's always been about resilience, grit, and greatness. And now, with the legendary Aaron Rodgers in the mix, the Steelers are ready to write a new chapter in their storied history. The road to the Super Bowl just got a lot more interesting, and we as fans should be ready for what's coming next. Because Pittsburgh is back in the game, and the AFC North better watch out. The future is bright, and it's happening right now. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. And finally, I want to hear from all of you. What do you think about this historic move? Are you excited about Rodgers leading the Steelers into the upcoming season? Do you believe this is the piece that finally puts Pittsburgh over the top? Or are you still skeptical about whether this team can truly contend for Super Bowl? Drop your thoughts, your predictions, and your questions in the comments below. I love engaging with you, and your opinions really do matter. Remember, this is just the beginning. The season is coming, and I'll be here with all the updates, analysis, and behind-the-scenes stories. So make sure to stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let us keep the Steelers' pride alive. We're in this together, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for our beloved team. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Steelers!